it's a short question, but unfortunately, my response can't be as short as that, to be honest. But really, on a serious note, to say that we are not unmindful, we are not unmindful of the impact that these increase in interest rates are having. We are not unmindful of it. We are very, very, very mindful. And in actual fact, um, if you look at it, why are we doing this? Because we've said our main objective is to manage inflation. And we believe that with increased interest rates, we have a situation where foreign exchange market becomes a lot more lively. We've had relative shortages in foreign exchange over the recent past. We're now seeing more activity in the foreign exchange market, which in turn is reducing the exchange rate and is also reducing costs. Okay, so it's not a one-sided affair that the increase in interest rates is strangulating the economy. While it may have those tendencies on one side, with the foreign exchange rate coming down, that also helps to moderate the overall. And as I had said earlier, we would expect that this would not be too long drawn. At least I would hope so, that it would not be too long drawn. We are getting towards a situation where on the exchange rate it is moderating, and we expect it to continue to moderate. And then it finds a level which, quite frankly, very, very important, is sustainable. That's very, very, very important. A level that is sustainable, which obviously will involve huge huge collaboration with the fiscal side, because a lot of that cannot just rely on the monetary side alone. So whatever we see on the interest rate side, which is being used to help to moderate prices, buys us time to ensure that the fiscal side, is able to do all the things that it is already doing and ensures for a more sustainable economy where the need to depend too much on hiking interest rates is considerably reduced. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor, sir. And how does the CBN ensure that the exchange rate remains flexible?
So many questions in one. Well, I think first and foremost, is something that I tend to talk about a lot when I speak on foreign exchange at public forum like this, and that is the issue of distortions. The issue of distortions. And just to say that we were painstaking in ensuring that we removed as many of the distortions that proved in the way of the rates finding their right level for price discovery. Because for price discovery to happen, certain fundamentals or certain attributes need to be in place. And you would recall that there's been a whole myriad of different circulars that have come out over a period of time, which were designed to remove those distortions, such that the market became a lot freer and the concept of willing buyer and willing seller became something that was a lot easier to establish. And therefore, by that, you would have the price discovery, the appropriate price discovery. Now, of course, in all this is the importance of liquidity, okay? Because try as you may, if there's not enough liquidity going in and out of the market, then obviously that in itself can pose a problem. The central bank, I would say, looking to the future at some point in time, we would expect to have a situation where interventions from the central bank into the market will be minimal to non-existent. But where we see the need to have liquidity pumped in to ensure liquidity in the market, and that the market is boisterous and stakeholders can come in and go out, we will do so. The idea is by no means to establish any price, but at least to catalyze the demand and supply equation in such a way that the market gets its own confidence, and as I said, price discovery is established, and people get used to that. And once that becomes a regular occurrence, then we expect that we'll find that the need for central bank to come in and will be significantly reduced to eliminated. The market should really run on its own at some point in time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. Another question just dropped.
Again, this is a situation where, as far as the central bank is concerned, we observed that it is important that our operations are as open and transparent as possible, because it is this lack of transparency that drives people away from the market. Where the market feels that there's something that isn't quite right, or there are distortions, there's a tendency for them to hold back. And one of our objectives, as I have said a number of times, is to ensure that we regulate the market in such a way that it is open and transparent. We observe that in this particular case, only 6 companies are allowed to bring in dairy products and its milk products and its derivatives. Only 6. And we believe that this is oligopolistic at best, and that in any case we should not constrain anybody that wants to come to the foreign exchange market to purchase foreign exchange from doing so. We do not believe we should constrain them from doing so. It's not our responsibility, it's not our job to do that. We should leave the market open, transparent, and let those who are in a position to deal in a particular area do so. At least, certainly, we will not ban them from the foreign exchange. We will not ban them from the foreign exchange market. We will not. It is, and certainly we will not restrict that market to just 6 players. We will not do so. A very good question. And thank you for that. And I'll be surprised if it didn't come up, given what has been going on. Well, look, first and foremost, let me clarify to say that the central bank does have, at least we consider ourselves as having the wherewithal to collaborate with other agencies of government. And that is a very important function for us. And where we see we can work with other arms of government, we will do so. And I must say that, and this perhaps should touch on what you just said about a month ago. A month ago, we actually did have collaboration with law enforcement agencies, EFCC, the SEC, and other regulatory bodies as well. And I think what came out of that, quite frankly, has work in progress, but very, very, very positive as far as I can see. Very positive. Office of the National Security Advisor. So we've been sharing information together. However, in this particular case, the responsibility for regulating cryptocurrency is not our own. It isn't ours. It is strictly that of the Security and Exchange Commission. Okay, that's not our responsibility. And of course, the issue of people who have been held in, and what we've already in the press, again, that's strictly speaking the Office of the National Security Advisor. That's not within the purview of the central bank. So unfortunately, there is nothing to report to you, to tell you, but just to clarify that that is really the relationship that the central bank has on this matter. Thank you very much. Another question that I know has dogged the minds of so many. And the question is, does this suggest a return to developmental interventions? And the answer is no, it doesn't. And let me explain why it doesn't. Because we have been consistent in saying that we will withdraw from direct interventions. We have been consistent in saying so. We have also been consistent in saying that we will work with those who we believe have the capacity to successfully intervene in whatever manner they can. And that, by the way, includes even capacity building. It's not strictly speaking, direct funding or anything like that. It isn't. It extends to a whole host of different areas. So where we see that that capacity is there, the central bank would be happy to partner, and that goes similar to what one had just said about the collaboration that we have had with regulatory authorities and also law enforcement authorities. But let's face this particular issue. Now, the fertilizer that was given out was the residue of an intervention that had been done before we came into office. It was not something that was done directly by us. And the options were either to leave them there to rot away or to give them to those that we believed had the capacity to distribute. And that is exactly what we did with the handing over to the Ministry of Agriculture. In actual fact, the way I see it is that we've taken those particular merchandise and put it where it rightly belongs.
Thank you, sir. I have another recent appreciation of the Naira against other major global currencies is certainly welcome news. What steps is CBN taking?
Wait, one more before you go, sorry. Before you go, because I was almost missed something which I think is very, very important, and that is that one particular individual who is amongst us today and who is referred as the doyen of the directors, Dr. Tumala, is on his way out. So this is his last MPC meeting. Okay, he's retiring next month, but this is his last MPC anyway. So just to thank you on behalf of not just the MPC, but I know I'm speaking for the press as well, for the tireless efforts and of course the high quality of what you've produced for the MPC. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. That ends the press briefing. Thank you all for coming and see you in May.
That's true. No, that's a good one. All right. All right, that would be nice. You know, I didn't that sounds that last time, where did you get it? Every time you come, they ask you questions.